Oh, this pain will never end. I can't handle another day of this. Thoughts like these can play on repeat when you live with chronic pain. Today, you'll meet 4 people who broke free from these endless thought loops. They'll show you exactly how they did it, using simple techniques that anyone can learn. Their stories could change how you think about pain forever. Greetings. It's nice to see you again. And to those new here, you're very welcome. For the millions living with chronic pain, the physical discomfort is just one part of the battle. The mind can become a battlefield of repetitive thoughts that feel impossible to escape. But there is hope, and it's backed by science. Research from the Journal of Pain shows that up to 80% of chronic pain sufferers experience intrusive, repetitive thoughts about their condition. These thought patterns actually activate the same brain regions as physical pain, creating a challenging cycle where mental distress amplifies physical symptoms. But statistics only tell part of the story. To understand how these thought patterns really affect daily life, and more importantly, how to break free from them, let's meet Asha. She's a 45-year-old teacher who developed complex regional pain syndrome, or CRPS, 8 years ago. Her mind used to race with thoughts like, I'll never be the teacher I once was. What if the pain gets worse? I'm letting everyone down. But Asha found a way through. She discovered that her students actually helped break these thought cycles. Instead of focusing on what I couldn't do, I started adapting my teaching style, she explains. I now sit while teaching, use voice recording for grading, and let students hand out materials. When those negative thoughts come up, I remind myself of what I can still offer my students. Their enthusiasm and progress show me I'm still making a difference, even if I teach differently now. Asha's experience reflects what many people with chronic pain go through. Her thoughts aren't random, they're part of a distinct pattern that can trap anyone dealing with persistent pain. Understanding these patterns is the first step to breaking free. Like many people with chronic pain, Asha initially felt alone in her struggle with these thoughts. But research shows these kinds of thoughts follow distinct patterns, patterns that can trap anyone living with persistent pain. Once we can spot these patterns, we can start to break free from them. Let's look at the most common thought loops that can keep us stuck. The first one is catastrophizing, saying things like, this will only get worse, or fortune telling, I'll never be able to enjoy life again, or the should statements, I should be stronger than this, or the all or nothing thinking, if I can't do everything, I can't do anything. Now that we can recognize these thought patterns, the question becomes, how do we break free from them? Research has uncovered several powerful strategies that can help you regain control of your thoughts and reduce their impact on your daily life. Let's start with cognitive diffusion, a simple way to step back and see thoughts as just thoughts, not facts. It's like watching clouds pass by in the sky instead of getting caught up in the storm. Research shows that creating this distance from difficult thoughts helps reduce their power over us. Instead of being trapped in the thought, I am in constant pain, you learn to notice it differently. I'm having the thought about pain right now. This small shift can make a big difference. This simple change in perspective transformed life for Matt, who lives with long-term carpal tunnel syndrome. He was surprised by how well this worked. He started labeling his worries as stories his mind was telling himself. When I notice myself thinking, I can't handle this pain, I say, there's the can't handle it story again. Our second strategy is a technique you might have heard of. It's mindfulness. But this isn't about emptying your mind or forcing yourself to relax. This is mindfulness-based stress reduction, or it's also known as MBSR, a practical approach that teaches you how to be present with difficult experiences without being overwhelmed by them. Think of it like sitting by a busy road. Instead of getting caught up in every car that passes, that would be your thoughts about pain, you learn to sit back and watch the traffic flow by. Research shows this simple practice can reduce pain-related distress by 40%. Maya discovered how powerful this everyday practice can be. She's managing a decade of lupus and decided to start with just 10 minutes of mindfulness each day. At first, I thought it was impossible to sit with my pain and not fight it, she shared. But then I learned to watch my worried thoughts about pain float by like leaves on a stream. I stopped struggling so much with that, what was happening in my mind, and that changed everything. While mindfulness helps us observe our thoughts and cognitive diffusion helps us step back from them, there's something equally important, and that's moving forward with our lives. This brings us to our third strategy, values based action. This approach is about taking small steps towards what matters to you, even when pain related thoughts try to hold you back. Research from the European Journal of Pain shows that when people focus on meaningful activities, no matter how small, their negative thought cycles naturally begin to weaken. Raj's story perfectly demonstrates how this works in everyday life. Living with diabetic neuropathy, he identified what mattered most to him, and that's teaching his granddaughter to cook family recipes. While thoughts like, I can't stand much longer, and what if I drop something, used to stop him, he found a way forward. I started by sitting at the kitchen table with her, just sharing stories about each recipe, Raj explained. Then we moved to smaller tasks so I could sit doing the work, measuring spices, mixing ingredients. When the thoughts about pain came up, I acknowledged them but kept my focus on what mattered, connecting with my granddaughter. Each small step felt like a victory over those limiting thoughts. Now we cook together every Sunday, and while the pain is still there, it doesn't control what I can and can't do anymore. Now that we've explored these strategies, let's talk about how to put them into practice in your daily life. Making these techniques part of your routine doesn't have to be overwhelming. Here's a simple daily practice that combines all three strategies. First one, morning thought check-in for 2 minutes. Number two, mindful observation of pain-related thoughts, 5 minutes. Values aligned activity planning, 5 minutes. Evening reflection and celebration of small wins, 3 minutes. The beauty of this approach is its flexibility. You can start small and build gradually, just as our four storytellers did. Remember, changing thought patterns takes time and practice. But with these evidence-based strategies, you can develop new mental pathways that lead to greater peace and control. Small steps forward are still progress. Start with just one strategy from this video. Choose what resonates most with you and begin with 5 minutes of practice. Remember, Asha, Matt, Maya, and Raj, they started exactly where you are now and found their way forward. You can too. Please hit like if you found this information useful, and remember to subscribe to receive alerts about new videos. So it's bye for now, and I'm wishing you a comfortable week.